All right, all right, all right. Here we go again. Positive energy, rep your city. Everybody on Facebook. I'm representing Chicago, Illinois. Everybody on Twitch, Kick, and YouTube. And my other Facebook account. Both of my Facebook accounts, Pharaoh said that, and Pharaoh El-Aton. Salute, salute, salute to everyone. We have Dallas in the building. We have San Jose in the building. Shout out to everybody on the West Coast where it's still kind of early. 10:40 on the West Coast. 11:40 in places like Arizona and stuff like that. We got Vernon, Texas here. Is California and Arizona on the same time zone? Let me see. Oh, they on the same time? No, they're different. So they're 2 hours behind. Okay, Arizona's 1 hour behind me, and California's 2 hours behind me. Okay. We got New York in the building. Shout out, salute to my brother Goshen. Shalom, shalom, brother. I hope you're doing well. Always a pleasure to see you. The wise and highly intelligent Goshen. Yeah. So tonight I'm kind of venting. I don't know about you, but I am. Politics is just wearing me out. I got like a political overload. I had a political overload. I don't typically pay a lot of attention to politics. If an election comes, I try to see if there's somebody I want to vote for, and then I go from there. But because I've been dealing with reparations and all of that, that's a political issue. So for those of us that are pushing for reparations, we have no choice but to pay some attention to the political climate. That's for those of us that are dealing with reparations. This is not for everybody, so no need for you to let me know you don't deal with politics. Okay? For those of us that are dealing with reparations, we're in the battle for reparations. Of course, we have to pay attention to politics because reparations is a political situation that has to be dealt with politically. And that's a worthy cause. Salute to everybody that's pushing for reparations that have not let what happened to our ancestors go unchecked. Right? We're not going to just blow that off and say, oh, that was a long time ago. We're not going to do that because technically that was not a long time ago. If you do something to my sister today, but you got her living under oppression, and you got her son living under oppression, and you got her grandson living under oppression, you can't say that was a long time ago because you had them under oppression where they couldn't get justice. So when the first generation comes that can get justice, how could you turn around and say that was a long time ago when Black Americans didn't get free until 1970? Regardless of what they tell you, foundational Black Americans were not free until 1970. You were not free until 1970. No matter what they told you, if you were free, then Rosa Parks would have been able to sit wherever she wanted to sit on the bus. So you did not get free on Juneteenth. Sounds good? That's not true. So we want reparations. And therefore we got to watch politics. And the politics is, ugh, Jesus Christ. The politics is horrible. It's just, it's like watching a bunch of children. The public has no chance with this childish type situation. I mean, they're not setting no type of example for the young people at all. I tell you, young people coming up now, they're going to think this is politics. Some people like in their 30s, 20s, 30s, they're going to think, teens, they think this is politics, which is not, but they think this is politics. They really do. This is not politics. This is some other weird stuff they're doing. This isn't politics. I mean, the president is basically breaking a lot of rules. I ain't going to say laws, which we could say, but what he's doing is definitely illegitimate in every sense of the word, where he stacked the government where nobody hold him accountable. And people have chosen sides, and that's the bad thing about choosing sides, because if you choose a certain side, you'll let them do whatever. You're not going to hold that side accountable. I've never seen this before. You got to pretty much at this point just be a device stuck on divisiveness to just see what you see and pretend it's all right. It is like, you see somebody just go and demolish the White House, which is you don't do that like that. If we were going to build something, you would have to build it separate, but you can't tear down a landmark like that. This is like dictatorship. You wonder how people end up under dictatorship. This is how. They be fans of the dictator. It's this. That's the problem with becoming too obsessed with a person. Because when you become too obsessed with a person, you be blind. You just be blind. Especially on social media. Because on social media, you've got computerized comments. You can't trust comments on social media. They got bots and everything. Spies, people that have confusion, that, you know what I mean? Sometimes you look at stuff and say, dang, why they say that? That'd be like bots and spies. You know what I'm saying? And they can sway people. If you get a bunch of bots and spies to say something, you make it think that that's a real point of view. Because there's so many things saying that point of view. It's posted so many times. You think it's a legitimate point of view, and the whole time it's a bot and spies. It could be like Russians and Chinese posting that stuff. It's crazy. It's crazy. Social media is crazy because you can't identify the people. And you got like unidentified, right? No picture, no. You got nothing to go by. You don't know who this is. I'll be over here talking and some unidentifiable character want to debate me, the real me with my real name and my real face against like a picture and just some made up name. At what point is that when did that become a decent debate? Imagine a debate against something you don't know they know who you are, you don't know who they are. And they want to debate you with a fake name and a fake picture. Unbelievable. Like the Twilight Zone, like that is just unbelievable in itself. It's like, am I really supposed to debate like a fake name and what? You really want to go back and forth like we the same? Are you serious? Imagine, from a content creator's point of view, imagine all of these names that's not the people's names. You don't know the face. Imagine them challenging you. And you're challenging a make-believe internet character, basically, that want to type some real stuff. It's like, how do you do something real from a fake account? I guess. I've had times when I'd let people come in alive, and I had brothers, woo, 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 woo. And I bring them in alive, and I say, what's up? And they be froze. I say, why your live ain't like your typing? That's why I stopped doing that. I said, oh, okay, this is all. I had a brother, he was really popping off on the typing. I said, come into the live. When I went to the live and hit in his face, showed up, he was like a deer in the headlights. He just froze. And then I said the same thing, and he was like, yeah, I said, wait a minute. So you only disagree when I can't see you. Okay, bye. It was weird. He didn't have, his typing energy was up here and his live energy was down there. That was weird. It takes you gotta really, if you're getting on the internet and you want to live stream and stuff, it's gonna take you some time to get used to it. It's not the real world. Welcome to the internet. The internet is strange. Boy, this is strange. For real. But then I got political overload. It's like political overload. It's just too much. And this is the worst politics I ever seen in my life. Nixon was bad with the Watergate and all that. That was bad. That was really bad. Nixon was bad. I ain't gonna lie. Nixon was bad. Y'all too young. Some of y'all too young. Y'all don't remember Nixon. It was horrible. That was bad. But this takes the cake. This is crazy political stuff. Crazy. I couldn't see myself debating none of this here. Ain't no way. It's crazy. I try not to watch it. I try not to watch no political commentary or nothing. It's crazy. it's been downhill forever because we had like Democratic news or Republican news. You can't listen to neither one of them. I kind of felt sorry for Fox though, because they was the only Republican news, and MSNBC and all the rest of them was Democrat news. Fox was out there fighting by themselves. No, we love Trump. Yeah, it was weird. It was weird. It was weird. It's weird, boy. Man, it's classic. You could turn on the news and watch Mitch McConnell just fall down and get up and laugh, smile, and wave. I said, boy, only in 2025 can you watch Mitch McConnell fall out on camera and get up and wave and smile. I said, oh, man, how many of them they got in office? Y'all don't make them sit down when they get a certain age? I'm 67. I can't do no politics no more than 6 more years. I can't do no 78-year-old politics 79. That sounds crazy. I can't be no politician 10 years from now. That's crazy. That is absolutely crazy. I ain't ever seen nothing like it. I just try to turn, poop. I don't watch none of that. You can't have no conversation about it because they got the country crazy. It don't make no sense to talk about it or discuss it. It's like you gonna get in a brainwash argument. Like you ain't gonna get nowhere. They got the people totally confused. So it's not even nothing worth debating. Because for one, you got the ones that's like, politics is no good. All the politics is fixed. Now those is the worstest one. They worse than the Democrats or the Republicans. Now the worst ones is the ones that don't do no politics, don't pay attention to no politics. You know, you got to be crazy to let somebody tax you and take your money out your check and you ain't paying them no attention. You got to be crazy. You know, you have to be crazy when you say you don't deal with politics, but politics deal with you and take all your money and you ain't paying no attention. You know, I could see you saying, Pharaoh, I don't watch a lot of that stuff, but I'm sure watching them taking my money. Then I'll be like, yeah. But I don't know how Americans ain't talking about them taking their money. Y'all notice Americans ain't saying nothing about FICA. Y'all ain't noticed that? Americans ain't saying nothing about FICA. They just let FICA do whatever she want to do. You know what I mean? Too many people are so brainwashed that they can't be reasoned with. No, they can't. No, you can't talk to them at all. Because that's what happens when you take a side. And when people take a side, when you talk, they trying to figure out what side you on. So when you ain't on no side, the conversation is weird because they put you on the side. So it's kind of crazy. Because they'll put you on the side. They'll be like, you a Democrat. That's the first thing got to change. You got to be able to vote without being the whole party. You know what I mean? You should be able to vote for somebody but not be the party. Like, why you got to be the whole party? Like, if I vote for Trump, I'm a Republican. That's a little weird. because I might listen to Trump and vote for Trump, but I don't know nothing about the Republicans. Who was they? You know, you might listen to a candidate, vote for a candidate, but they try to give you the whole party, which is just crazy because I don't think many of us know much about the party, the whole party. I know I don't. I don't know nothing about the Democrats or the Republicans. I don't know none. I don't know nothing about neither one of them. I don't even know if all of them even get represented. I would bet that it's a handful of Democrats that's representing the Democrats and a handful of Republicans represent the Republicans, and the rest of them probably kind of mad. Like, who said they? Why do they represent us? Yeah, I mean, I don't believe the people that they say represent the parties really represent the parties. I think they just got the news access. Because you just see the same ones. Where the rest of them? Like they got the Crockett chick. She represented. Where's the rest of the Democrats? I mean, she cool, but I mean, where's everybody else? Why aren't they representing us no more? Because we don't care. If you just at home and they can do what they want to do, why would they represent you? They only gonna represent you if you remind them they represent you. But if you don't tell them, hey, you represent me, and you just sitting there and they can say whatever they want to say, they don't really represent you because you ain't involved. Because let's say it's a friend of mine and he's going to a meeting to talk about a music deal and he represent me, right? I'm going to talk to him and say, when you go for the music deal, I want this and this and this and this, and tell him this and this and this and this. Then he going to go represent me and say, I'm here for Pharaoh. He want this and this and this and this and this and this and this. But the American people don't want nothing. They're not telling the politicians nothing. How could they represent you when you don't got nothing on the table? Like the Democrats, okay, represent them how? What do they want? Nothing. Not that I know of. The Republicans represent them. What do they want? Nothing. Not that I know of. I can't tell you four things that Democrats want or four things Republican wants right now. Because we don't get to hear from Republicans or Democrats. We just get to hear from the politicians. We don't ever get to hear from the Republican people and the Democrat people. We just get to hear from the top talking heads. What they not? Are they the Republicans and Democrats? I thought Republicans and Democrats was people that support the Republican Party and people that support the Democratic Party. We'll never hear from them. Then you got people that ain't none of that. They just watch this one, watch that one, say, I'm going to vote for that one. So if I watch two candidates and I say, I'm going to vote for this one, how am I a part of his party when I watch two candidates and decide I'll vote for him? If I was a part of his thing, I would just vote for him without deciding. They try to act like all Americans is just voting for somebody without deciding. That's not true. We do got some people that's just voting because they Democrats and vote for it. But a lot of people is listening, trying to see what you're going to say. Then they vote based on that. That's why the Democrats won all these elections, because people have been listening and decide they want to vote this way. But they acting like we automatically just vote for the party. We should get to see what they vote on, but we're not going to get to see what they vote on because don't nobody care. How we going to see what they vote on when nobody don't want to see what they vote on? Because Josh, if you went and told people we should see what they vote on, people will look at you like they wouldn't even respond. They don't even want to see. They don't care. Because if everybody wanted to see what they vote on, that would be an issue. You understand, Josh? That would be an issue, would be brought up already. Obviously, they don't want to see nothing. They don't care. A lot of people is just picking sides and just, I don't know. The politics ain't making much sense. They just don't make no sense. Most of the politics today seem to be like racial kind of. It don't even seem to be like regular politics. It seems like racial politics or something weird, something weird. And when we go to work, we got to do our work. Imagine they make all that money and the government closed. Know what I'm saying? You say they give us empty platitudes as skeletons to a skull, drudgerous mafia. Kind of. You know what I'm saying? But in a way, not, because ain't nobody paying no attention. So how can they give you something when you ain't even there to get it? People not paying no attention. Don't look like it. It's just weird. It's weird. I think they totally removed the public from politics. That's what it looked like. It don't look like the public is politically involved. It's like the public is like these elections is like one side fighting against the other side, and they not paying no attention to the politicians. They just picking a side, and then they just doing whatever for this side or that side. You know what I'm saying? They definitely need term limits because they just be too old, Josh. But the crazy thing about it is the public's not involved with the politics like it's supposed to be. They don't really represent the public no more. Don't seem like it. Instead of them trying to help the public, it's like they're making the public pick one of them. It's strange. It's strange, Sazirak. It is just strange. It's weird. It's weird. I ain't gonna tell y'all no lie. These politics is weird. It's just weird. I believe a lot of this stuff is totally illegal. It's like one side against the other side, like high school. It's like some high school stuff, like this side against that side. And then do whatever you could do to hurt this side and try to stop this side. It's like really weird. It's not like they really trying to do nothing better for the country. It's like they trying to do something better for this side, or they try to do something better for this side. And they ain't intelligent enough to come up with something where both sides could agree. They coming up with some real stagnant, real separatist ideologies where you want this extreme or that extreme, because both parties is extreme. We don't have no moderates no more. We just got extremes on both sides. It's a little weird. Who gonna go vote when both sides is weirdos? Make it make some sense. Because both sides is weird. Both sides is weirdos. I ain't gonna lie. I just be looking at them. I don't know what they doing. They doing these rallies and rallying people up for this side and that side, and none of the people really know what you rallying up for. I ain't never seen nothing like it. All this political overload. It's like an overload. What's my take on some of the greatest leaders in history being under 40? I feel like great leaders could be under 40, but I believe that for me, or just in my life alone, just living, you at your best at 65 to 75. From 65 to 75, you're at your best. At 40, you ain't really there. At 40, you pretty good, but you haven't tightened up your philosophy. So usually when you get about 40, you begin to, get a decent philosophy, but you don't really tighten that up until you get in your 60s. And we talk about being in politics and stuff like that. The best politician is going to be 60 and up. Because you have to look in terms of every day you're getting better. You're not getting worse. So how could the 40-year-old be better than the 50-year-old you? The 50-year-old you know 10 years more than you. And most of us between 40 and 60, we've changed up our belief systems quite a bit as we get more knowledge. I'm not saying you can't be a good politician at 40. I believe you can. But your best you, when it comes to knowledge, is going to be 60. Basically, 60 and up. The problem with the moderate and liberal and conservative, that's what's ruined politics. That's what's ruining politics. Liberal, conservative. That's ruined because nothing we need is liberal or conservative. So when you start talking liberal and conservative, that's like make believe. That's what's ruining it. Liberal and conservative. Because there's things we need, and that's the bottom line. And the things we need are not liberal or conservative. Those are things we need. If I was a politician, I wouldn't want to be a liberal or a conservative. I just want to do what's best for the country. And this need to classify everything becomes a problem. Because classifications got nothing to do with nothing. Take the liberal and conservative ideology and show me where that'll work anywhere else. If you was the CEO of a record label, could you be a liberal CEO or a conservative CEO? No. You would have to do whatever's best for the music. You wouldn't be able to. That won't work in nowhere else will liberal and conservative work. Liberal and conservative is when you take ideas that's non-political and throw them in a political arena. because the basics of politics needs to be economics, labor, agriculture, health, security. There's no liberal security or conservative security for the nation. There's no liberal or conservative way to make sure we got food and food prices and all that. How the hell is that liberal or conservative? Liberal and conservative is a bunch of nonsense that ain't, we don't want to hear about it. It ain't basic. There's no liberal or conservative way for our children to go to school, affordable schools. How is affordable schools liberal or conservative? No. That's the main part of the nonsense. What the hell is liberal and conservative? Sounds like people making up stuff to add things to politics that have nothing to do with governing. Because the politicians are supposed to be governing. There is no liberal governing and no conservative governing. So that's just like a fake thing to make up to cause division. It wasn't enough to be Democrat and Republican. You got to be the right and the left and liberal and conservative. And people going for that. That's why they ain't getting nowhere. What's my take on the split on the Republican Party? The split in the Republican Party, what has that got to do with the citizens? That's exactly what I'm talking about. Nothing. How you got to split? What that got to do with the citizens? If you represent the citizens, show me where the citizens is split. If the citizens is split, it's because the politicians split them. The only way the citizens can be split is the leadership split them. Other than that, it ain't no split. If I get up there and I say, everybody wants to make money to be able to pay their rent or their mortgage and live comfortably, there is no other side to that. There's no two sides to that. So what's the liberal side to that and the conservative side to that? It ain't one. So if anything's got a liberal and conservative side, that's because it's trash. How? What's the liberal and conservative side to decent wages? Good schools, great public transportation. What? You're 100% right, Lady Linus. They're running games on these people. You're telling me you're a conservative. You're telling me you're a liberal. Show me y'all pay. How much y'all get paid? Oh, y'all get paid the same amount. Y'all don't got no conservative and liberal pay, huh? Show me where we get to pay conservative or liberal taxes. Show me where I can get a conservative or liberal city sticker on my car. Show me where I can buy a conservative or liberal license plates. Show me the conservative and liberal food prices in the store. Where's the conservative store at and where's the liberal store? Like in the real world. Where's the liberal groceries and the conservative groceries? Where that's at? Do they got liberal math and conservative math for our children? Do they got liberal science and conservative science? Do they got liberal reading and conservative reading? So basically, in real life, it ain't no liberal or conservative. You either know how to read or you don't. You either know how to do math or you don't. Okay, so what the hell is liberal and conservative? Liberal and conservative is junk conversations. Think about it. Any conservative liberal conversations is about nonsense. In the meantime, y'all getting a big ass check. In the meantime, our taxes is paying them. They're living fine. And they're coming from their nice homes and their nice cars, and they're arguing nonsense. They ain't talking about nothing real. They making up stuff so they could be divided. It ain't that much divisive in the world. It ain't that much divisive in the world. The transplants are complaining about Texas. Texas has been ran by German descendants since they arrived. The money in one big pot. Mm-hmm. They be up there every time I turn it on. I don't understand what none of them is saying. I ain't gonna lie. Anytime you shut down the government, but you still get paid, you should be in prison. How people that work for us can shut down the government when they the government and they work for us? And you put them up there and they can shut down your government that you paid the taxes to run. And you ain't got no say so. But they talking about it's of the people, for the people, by the people. Y'all shut down the government? Well, how's it of the people, for the people, by the people? Where a handful of people shut down the government, but they work for us. Make that make some type of sense. How people that you elected can shut down your government, because it's not their government to shut down. That's our government. That's our government. How they shut down our government without our permission? Because they don't act like they work for you no more. They act like you work for them. They think they're our bosses. That's why. And people have bought into it and worship them. And you worship somebody that you paying. And they got you thinking you on welfare, but they on welfare. You see all this talk about who's on food stamps? They on food stamps. Food stamps is from what? The money's money, right? And they salaries from what? Where they getting their salary from? Ain't they salary coming from the same money that's paying for food stamps? They getting the same, they getting welfare. That's welfare they getting. That's welfare. They don't work. They ain't working and earn their money. We paying them. They're not working and earning any money. They don't work for any company that earns any money. We go make the money and just give it to them. They're not earning any money. They're taking the money from people that's earning money. And they're taking money out of your check. You're working and they're taking your money, which is welfare. That's welfare. Welfare is when somebody works and you live off the money. That's welfare. When you get food stamps, you haven't worked for it, right? And you getting your food stamps from the taxpayers, right? and that's welfare. Okay, the politicians is getting their money from what? The taxpayers, and they're not working for it. That's welfare. The United States government is on welfare. These are a bunch of people we paying, and then they telling us what to do with our money. They telling us what they gonna do it and when they gonna do it and how they gonna do it, and they divide it and say they don't got to get together but they can still take our money together. They all taking our money together, but then they can't do nothing together. And talking to me like they my boss. Trump think he my boss, and I'm paying him. He think he's my boss. And he worked for us. And he think we work for him. And what do you think? He think he's the boss. He doesn't know he's a representative. He's not no boss. He's our representative, but he's not the boss. He's not our boss. So he take your money and pay for security and everything and talk to you like you're a peon. And then you worship it, so you let it happen. You think it's great. I love Trump. I follow Trump. I love Biden. I love whoever. And you just take the money. And then you get into, I like Trump. I like Biden. I hate Obama. I hate this one. And you just into that type of foolishness. Yeah, America's working for everybody else to come up. Yeah. Trump acts like he's our boss. He doesn't work for the Americans. The Americans have to do what he tell them to do, and they got to pay him. I got to pay him to tell me what to do. He don't got a job. They don't have jobs. They just representatives. We got jobs. We work. They on welfare. And so if they could divide the people, then they could rob the people. If they can divide the people and make you Republicans and Democrats and liberals and conservatives, then they can rob you. Because they got you cheering for this side and that side, and you ain't going to make nobody do their job. If you're cheering for a side, you ain't going to make neither one of them do their job. You're not going to hold them accountable as a group. So if they can put the psychology out there that is Democrat, Republican, liberal, conservative, and they can get you to be a Democrat, Republican, liberal, conservative, now they can rob you because you ain't going to have no unified expectations for the government because you only deal with half the government and you only deal with half the government. So how could you get the whole government to do something for you when you only represent half? It's a trick. So you're never all going to get together and say, listen, we don't give a damn what y'all is. Get y'all goofy asses together and do something. You ain't going to say that. You're going to say the Republicans is wrong. The Democrats is wrong. And boom. So they can do whatever. We shut the government down. Got people that work for the airlines can't even work. Air traffic controllers got to go find another job to pay their bills. Why these rich people just shut down the government? The same government that pay them, they're not shutting down the money that's going into their pocket, though. They shutting down everything moving for us. And trying to get us to get one of the parties to bow to the other party, when really they shouldn't be allowed to be two different things. Right. They're trying to push divide and conquer, but it's divide and get conquered. because the country gonna get conquered like that. Yeah, Congress get paid vacations. They all still getting paid. But they can get away with it because they got you Democrat and Republican. They can do whatever. Because you ain't gonna pay them no attention. If you're a Democrat, only thing you pay attention to is Republicans. And if you're a Republican, only thing you pay attention to is Democrat. Meanwhile, the actual government can run over you. And when the camera's off, they all sitting up there in the Congress and the House of Representatives hanging out, laughing. They all buddies. They just get on that camera and act like enemies. Yeah, they cutting back on flights. But it's going to be some type of air something going to happen. They just running the game and getting money. They all buddies. They don't turn that camera on in the House of Representatives and Congress and show them all that smiling and yucking. They don't show that part. Drinking. They be in there with liquor and everything. They be in there with liquor, alcohol, everything. They got you divided, black versus white, Republican versus liberal. Then they got sexuality in there. How you got gay government decisions for being gay? Ain't supposed to be no gay conversations in politics. How? How they just because two men walk down the street, that don't mean they having gay relations. So how you know? So how we got politics about what you do in the bedroom? Because the only thing make you gay is what you do in the bedroom. You take away what you do in the bedroom, how is you gay? Make so who knows you gay or not? So how you got gay politics? Make it make some sense. Is it a game as all the time? No, it's a bunch of idiots don't know what they're doing. It's a bunch of people that don't really know what they're doing. They winging it. It's a new society that's making the same mistake as Rome did when it fell. If it was a game that they knew they was doing, they would know it's gonna fail. The fact they don't know it's gonna fail just show you they winging it. Because anybody, if they say, well, Pharaoh, they've been doing this, if they study what they've been doing, they would already know it's gonna fail. So why would they do it? They ain't studying nothing. They're not smart. They put these conspiracies to make y'all think they smart. These are dummies. There's no conspiracy. They winging it. They winging it. How is a conspiracy to come out with a cash society that's gonna flop? That's gonna fail. Everybody with any sense know that's gonna fail. Think about it. These are dummies making you think they smart and making you think everything's planned out. No, they winging it. It's not till it all blow up for everybody to be like, oh, they really didn't know what they was doing. I don't know how long it's going to take for people to realize they don't know what they're doing. Even Christ said, Lord, forgive them, because what? They know not what they do. They do not know what they're doing. They're winging it. Ain't they lady liners? They just winging it. I'm telling you. Everybody think it's a great master plan. Ain't no plan. Not really. That's when the world gonna be surprised. Yeah, they straight. Yeah. She said, yeah, straight freestyle. You ain't lying, but they all. That's what they doing. They freestyling. All you gotta do is look at them. You can tell. Their job is to make you think they know what they're doing. Ain't no way. If you knew, like they say, if you knew better, you would do better. It ain't no way they know nothing. Slowly, people almost seeing it. You know, slowly people looking at Trump and saying, I think he's stupid. He can't read. Like people find out Trump can't even read. Like Donald Trump can't read well. Like a lot of rich kids are dumb. They just get passed. They don't really know nothing. When I went to Lutheran school, the smart kids was all dope fiends. The smart kids was the ones selling all the illegal substances, the ones that's getting all A's and stuff. They was the crooks. Right now in America, if you go into nursery, you could buy the test. These people coming from India, they buying the test to be engineers and stuff. They paying for that. You can pay and graduate from Harvard, Yale, Oxford. You could pay and do that. You don't got to know nothing. I know some ladies that be bought their nursing tests. They bought them. And they nurses. Can they pay somebody to do your homework and all that right now? Yeah, they got somebody to do your whole semester for you. You just pay them. Yeah, they got people to do all that for you. You don't have to do nothing. I could be a nurse right now. All I got to do is pay. Right now, you can pay and get any kind of degree you want. Money talks. And people got like political overload. People, I know people sick of it. It's too much. It's like watching children. Nobody want to watch no politicians argue and fight every day on the news like that. Never got no good news for the citizens and their constituents. Going every 2 years fighting to win the election. That's all we do is from election to election, from election to election. Don't nothing get done. Don't nothing get done because they spend all their time getting reelected. Think about it. They just had this election. Now they got to get rid of for the election next year. So now they got to campaign for that. So what work getting done? Then when that, soon as that election come, the midterms, they're going to immediately start campaigning for the presidential election. So what's going to get done when you're going from campaign to campaign to campaign to campaign to campaign to campaign? If I'm campaigning, how much am I getting done? Nothing. You know how much stuff's supposed to be getting done if these is real professional politicians every time they get in there? Ain't nothing getting done. The business people running the country. The politicians ain't doing nothing. The business people got to do all the work. The people that own these stores and gas stations, that they got to do all the work to provide for us. The politicians ain't doing nothing. Yeah, people just placeholders. You ain't lying, sweetheart. And then they can get you to pick this side or that side and argue. You ain't gonna pay no attention to them if you argue. It's a disaster. Meanwhile, it's mad financial struggles. You know how many people just got fired? Just got sent home, laid off, and fired? Man, you don't even want to know. Hundreds of thousands. And that's just the first round. I seen a guy read it off, and after he read off so many, he said, I can't even read off the rest because this video will be too long. Is the age of presidents coming to an end now? Your whole world gonna come to an end how it is because your world ain't in tune environmentally. You finna get wiped out. Listen, even when a storm comes, they say it's political. They don't even believe in God and nature no more. Every storm they believe is man-made. So if you believe every storm is man-made, then you ain't gonna make no changes to how you living to prevent the natural disasters. And you really believe that you could live this way and there wouldn't be no natural disasters with cars and airplanes and trucks and stuff just everywhere. You believe that there won't be no natural disasters. They got to do it with HARP because without HARP, you believe all this stuff will work with no backlash. If you tell me all these natural disasters is planned by the government, you're telling me that you believe that all this stuff we're using on the earth would be perfect and nothing would happen. That they can build all this junk that wasn't here because you're not slow and you know there wasn't no whole bunch of freeways and cars and millions of planes in the sky and the earth was set up to work a certain kind of way. And you trying to tell me that you could put all this junk on the earth that was set up to work a certain kind of way and it's still going to work right? Y'all believe the earth going to still work right with all this new junk on it? So what they tell you is, oh, if something happened, that was intentional. That was because we made something. Why? Because if they don't say that, you're going to demand they tear all this stuff down and get back into harmony with nature. You don't want to be in harmony with nature. You done bought into the beast. You done bought into Babylon. We don't have no natural disasters. They all made by HARP. It used to be a time before HARP, you knew that Mother Nature was doing that. Now, not only do they deny God, they deny Mother Nature. No, ain't no Mother Nature. We did it. That's basically what they're saying. Ain't no Mother Nature. We Mother Nature. Ain't no God. We God. That's basically what they're saying. They're saying it in a slick way. Ain't no Mother Nature. We do that. Our machines make it rain and everything. Ain't no God. Ain't no Mother Nature. We God. We Mother Nature. That's basically what they're saying. And people believe it. Every storm. That was HARP. That was HARP. That was HARP. It ain't no, it's no more natural storms. It's all HARP. Even though it was a whole bunch of natural storms before they built HARP. HARP didn't open up till 1993. Look, HARP was open in 1993, right? Look at this. What natural disasters happened before 1993? Hurricane Andrew, Hurricane Inky, Bangladesh cyclone, the volcano eruption, perfect storm, Armenia earthquake, typhoon, the deadliest tropical cyclone ever recorded, no HARP, China floods considered the deadliest natural disaster on record, 1931, no HARP, no HARP, no HARP. 1900, Galveston, the deadliest natural disaster in U.S. history, killed at least 8,000 people. There's no HARP. San Francisco earthquake, Jonestown flood, no HARP. There's no HARP. There's no HARP. Okay, how did all those happen? How did all those happen? If HARP's behind everything, make it make sense. Now go ahead, do what you're doing. Geoengineering, man-made destruction of Earth. No, not really. I just showed you. It's not geoengineering, it's living out of tune with nature. But nature has always fixed itself. Nature is always adjusting and fixed itself. You can't cut down a bunch of trees and think it's going to be all right. But nature has always been nature. There's always been natural disasters. But the natural disasters really didn't do a lot of damage because we didn't live in certain places. We lived in places. Now you're trying to live right on the coast like a dumbass. Nobody used to live on the coast. People used to set up temporary spots on the coast. And when a certain seasons come, they would pack up their little stuff and move somewhere else. People used to move like this, move their housing. People didn't just put their house in one location like that, like they're doing now. People be building their houses on cliffs and all of that. You ever drove and seen houses on the edge up on mountains and stuff? You say, what are they, crazy? So I guess it ain't gonna never be no earthquake, huh? They be doing crazy stuff. Anybody been on the ocean know you can't live close to the ocean. Any fool know that. What happened to the pole shifting? It's still there. It's still that same situations. All of the continents are moving. It's still there. I'm gonna talk about this week. I'm gonna show you all of the hurricanes that hit Jamaica. And anybody with some sense will finally come to the conclusion that Jamaica gonna constantly get hit by hurricanes. So don't live on the edge. I'm gonna do a live stream coming up in a few days. I'm gonna show you 25 hurricanes that didn't hit Jamaica, and they hitting every 5 years, every 7 years. So if they refix Jamaica right now, it's gonna get hit again. I'm gonna show it to you. I did the research on it. Jamaica get hit by hurricanes constantly, always within 10 years. A lot of times, like 3 years, 5 years, and 7 years, constantly. Constantly. So they fixing it back to get hit again. It's gonna get hit again. You're in the middle of the ocean. Who told you the ocean sits still? Who told you that? You got a memo that said the ocean don't have hurricanes? Who told you that? Who told you that the ocean is calm? Who? Who told you could live in the middle of the ocean and don't nothing happen? Who? Who told you that? They finna fix it back to get tore up again. Then fix it back to get tore up again. But it's gonna stay getting tore up. The only way Jamaica would be decent is pull everything to the middle. Don't have nothing within so many miles of the coast. You still gonna get some damage, but you ain't gonna get the damage you're gonna get. You right there, like the ocean is. It's gonna stay there. The ocean gonna stay there. The ocean gonna stay there. They believe the ocean gonna stay in the ocean. Unbelievable. They believe the ocean gonna stay just like that. All these centuries and centuries of tidal waves and hurricanes, typhoons and cyclones. The typhoons and cyclones and hurricanes and tidal waves is not new, man. This is how the earth be functioning. Crazy people. They're gonna tell you it's a weather machine. And I'm gonna show y'all all these things before they have a weather machine. They ain't have a weather machine till 1993. And the weather machine don't even work. Well, if they say so. They're like, they got weather machines. They tearing their own stuff up, Pharaoh. I'm like, yeah, okay. They tearing their own stuff up. They doing it. It's a secret behind it. They want to build. They want to build these new cities. They want to build smart cities. Let me ask y'all something. Y'all don't believe the smart city's gonna get tore up? Ain't no tornado gonna go to no smart city because it's smart and it's so smart it can stop tornadoes out. The only reason it was tornadoes because HARP did it. And once you build a smart city, HARP ain't gonna do nothing no more. All the natural disasters gonna stop once you build the smart cities. That'll do it. When the reality is, once they build a smart city, the reality is when natural disasters come, because we dealing with technology, that's why we be out. When we was more dealing with the nature, they didn't do that much damage. There was no electricity to knock out. So we still had light because we had light the same way we always had light. But once you plug all this stuff up, it's going to be worse than that. Imagine digital money and a storm come and knock all the electricity out. It ain't gonna be no money or nothing. What you gonna do? When you got cash and knock everything out, you might still got your cash in your pocket. But when you got digital and everything go off, you gonna starve. You don't have you know what I'm saying? I don't even know why they call them smart cities, because they're dumb as hell. I don't even know why they call that junk smart city. Ain't nothing smart about everything being plugged up. Yeah, they cut down trees and displace animals and mess up the environment because, listen, this the earth. It's going around and around. Right? It's got all type of turning. It's out in the middle of space. All kind of wind and stuff is blowing. You right here on this. So there's trees and stuff. So now you down here. You down in here, and here's the tree. So all the natural wind gonna go over your head because it's got to go over the trees, right? So you're gonna build this. So the earth is set up where it's big tall trees like this, and you down here. So when it's going, the trees and the top of the trees is catching all the air. That's why sometimes you look up, you see the leaves blowing, but you don't necessarily feel nothing. So as this is out there revolving and rotating, all the air got to stay over here, and you protected you down in there. Now, when you cut all these down and you on a bald head earth, the wind gonna blow you off. It's just common sense. The trees and mountains was designed to catch the air while the earth is revolving and rotating, and you're small, so now you're protected because the air got to go over you. When you start cutting down all the trees, the wind gonna get stronger and stronger and stronger, blow your ass from one side to the other side, because you ain't got nothing up here to catch the air. You done went and gave the earth a haircut just because you got a haircut. Bob Marley said it, them crazy. They're going to chase them crazy bald heads out of town because you a bald head and you want the earth to be a bald head too. You want the earth to go to the barber shop and cut the dreads off the earth. Yeah, you can cut the earth dreads off. The earth ain't got no dreads no more. You can cut the earth dreads off. That's a shame. Man, you done cut the earth dreads off. Can you imagine that? Yeah, the earth made the earth get a hair. You made the earth get a haircut, man. Look, you got a lining. They got the earth a lining. That's it. The earth got the earth pop rocking that Stephen A. Smith. The earth hairline back here like Stephen A. The earth got the Stephen A. Smith hairline. That's it. And gave the earth the Stephen A. Smith cut. And gave the earth to Stephen A. Smith, man. These brothers cut all their hair off and they're gonna put magic cream on it, trying to get it to come back. Which way? What you doing, bro? You want to cut it off or you want it? I'm confused. What we doing? These politicians crazy as hell. Ain't gonna lie. We dealing with some crazy people. Y'all better just be ready. That's all I can tell you. I'm gonna be doing another environment and survival live stream next week. You know what I'm saying? Do I think deserts can replenish? I mean, the whole thing is, I wouldn't say replenish, but I would say they're gonna be underwater, and anything can happen. They'll be underwater. So what used to be a desert could end up being a lake or where the ocean is at. I would say that because it can't replenish without some cataclysmic situation, but it can happen because a lot of them deserts is civilization under all that sand. Like out there in the Sahara Desert, it's stuff down under there. It just got covered up with sand. Some people say all that sand come from the Great Flood, like beach sand. And that under there, it's a whole bunch of stuff under the Sahara Desert. Whole civilizations and buildings and everything under there, they saying. The earth could do all type of stuff. But the thing is, we making a unnatural, we doing like a lot of unnatural stuff. Even the way we eating, the food we provide, the way we farming, all that stuff is out of order. You're not supposed to grow one crop like that. You're gonna have plagues. If you grow one crop like that, you're gonna have plagues. Hey, listen, in Hawaii, we used to go on Oahu, Waikiki Island, not the big island, on Oahu. Del Monte and all them is over there growing all them pineapples, right? Del Monte and the other pineapple place, Dole mostly, because Dole bought the island. Dole bought that island first, and then the government took it from him. So when you go on the north shore of Oahu, it's pineapples as far as you can see. So what we used to do is I used to drive my van real slow when it's almost sunset, and we look for the ones that's kind of orange. And we see a big patch of the ones orange. But we pull down a little way and wait till the sun's almost down, and we would come run out there and grab a bunch of pineapples and throw them in the van. Grab like 50 pineapples. And when you used to pull a pineapple up, when you pull a pineapple up down there, it's all these little black bugs on there. Like on one pineapple, right? There's like 200 of these bugs, 200 to 300 bugs. They real little black bugs. I don't know what they call. But when you pull the pineapple up, it's like 200 to 300 of these bugs. They start jumping off because the pineapple's down in the ground and only the crown is up, and you just pull it out, right? So it's 200 to 300 of these bugs, maybe even more on each pineapple. Now there's millions of pineapples. So how many of those bugs is out there? And this how you end up with a plague where eventually those bugs gonna be everywhere. Why? Because it's not meant for you to grow one crop like that. Crops are supposed to be mixed and intermingled, which prevents one particular type of pestilence from growing too much. But if you just plant corn as far as you can see, whatever pestilence that get in the corn, it's going to be too much of it. So that's how Monsanto came and started messing with the food to make the food GMO so that the pests can't be everywhere. So this is how they start splicing the food with spiders and all of that, which you don't know nothing about. They start splicing the food with stuff that make it unedible for the pests. They start genetically modifying the food because of the pest to make the food toxic to the pest so they can grow too much of one crop in one area. If you're doing real farming, you don't do that. If you're doing real farming, you're going to interchange your crop. Real talk. You're supposed to rotate your crop, and also you're not supposed to have too much of nothing. So you're going to have this, and then you're going to have mint. The mint going to make sure the bugs don't come. So you might got some corn, then you're going to have some mint on this side, peppermint on this side, spearmint on that side. Now the corn's straight. Then you're going to have this, then you're going to have that. The same thing, eat the corn, don't eat this. So this is how you stop the pest. You stop the pest because you're supposed to plant different stuff, and some of that stuff the bugs don't even want it, and that protects the stuff the bugs do want. This is how you're supposed to grow. So like ladies, if you're watching right now, when spring get ready to come around, you know how you got your house, right? And you know how you got your little flower gardens and stuff in your house, and you know in the front, you know how you're growing? Ladies, start grow mint up against the house, all around the house. You won't have all them spiders and stuff in your house. Ladies, I'm giving you game. When it gets time for spring for planting, go outside and plant mint around your house. Right? You know how you come out your front door, you got the stairs, up the side of them stairs, plant mint. Up like this and down up under your front living room window, you should have mint growing up against there. Right? Right? Because the mint, they don't like mint. Mint stink to them. It's too strong. They don't like peppermint. They don't like spearmint. They don't like that. They don't like the smell. You grow that under all your windows. Where your windows is at, by your doors. Like when you come out your side door, there should be mint growing this way and that way. That way you ain't got to worry about them being around your door or around your windows. They ain't going to come. They ain't going to come at all. They ain't going to come over there. That's a fact. They ain't going to come over there. They ain't coming over there by that mint. That's an absolute fact. And it's going to smell good. Your house going to smell so good. When it rains and then the sun come out, you're going to smell your house going to be smelling like spearmint gum. It's going to smell great. Smell nice and sanitized. So the different plants, there's other plants that do stuff too. Maybe I'll do a whole live on that. There's other plants that repel bugs and stuff. And then ladies get one of these. Get these, ladies. I'm gonna give y'all some game. Ladies, if you don't like bugs, look, I'm gonna give y'all some game. Hold on. Okay, this page won't let me do it. Hold on, give me a minute. Okay, hold on. Watch this, ladies. Because they got a lot of ladies out there. I'm always looking out for you ladies. Y'all owe me big time. Check this out, ladies. You don't get this nowhere. Y'all support the channel. You ain't going to get this nowhere. Ladies, a lot of times, you know, y'all don't like bugs, right? Y'all don't like bugs. This is what you get, ladies. Check this out. Lavender is good too, but this is what you get, ladies, if you don't like bugs. On my soul. Watch this. If you don't like bugs, ladies, this is what you get. These is fake dragonflies. And the bees and all the bugs that fly is not going to come because they think it's real. And so, ladies, you know how you want to sit in your yard? All you got to do is put one of these by you. Ain't nothing going to come. Ain't nothing going to come. It's a guy, he had a hornet's nest. And when you come out his porch, he put one of these there. The next day, the hornets had left. The whole nest was empty. Hold on, I'm going to show you something else too. Let me show you something else too. Well, you don't get this nowhere. Y'all support the channel. It don't get no realness. I'm giving y'all some game. Another thing too, if you got a little farm, you got a little place where you're growing food, or you got birds and they keep pooping, you know, on your porch and all that, right? On my soul. You got birds pooping on your porch and all that. Get this. Here's what you get. You get these. It's fake eagle. If you put that fake eagle, ain't no birds gonna come back. None. Ain't no birds. Ain't no pigeons. Ain't no birds coming back. There's some new stuff that, you know, everybody don't know. You want to get rid of the bugs, get these fake dragonflies. You want to get rid of the birds, get these fake eagles. And ain't no bird coming back. None. They ain't coming back. They ain't coming back. I got a friend, the pigeons keep pooping on her little porch she got off her apartment. I told her get the eagle. It won't be another pigeon. They ain't coming nowhere close. They probably won't even come next door either. They ain't coming. They ain't coming. People ride their bikes with the People ride their bikes with these, and nothing fly up to them. Go search some videos on it. You'll see. People ride their bikes with them, and nobody show up. On my soul. Ask somebody. Now with the dragonflies, right? You want to get the ones look real. You don't want to get the ones like I showed you, right? So with the dragonflies, I'm gonna show you the ones you really want to get. I just pulled up the first thing, right? With the dragonflies, right? You don't want to get those. You want to get these. I'm gonna show you. These are dragonflies you want to get when you get the dragonflies, ladies. Okay, get these. Get these dragonflies. Ain't no flying bug coming. If you like to ride your bike, or you like to go sit out at the park, and you want to sit at the park, and you don't want no bugs flying all up on you, get these dragonflies. Ain't nothing going. Some women, they pin them on their baseball caps when they riding their bike. Ain't nothing coming. Ain't nothing coming. There's videos where people did it. That's why they got scarecrows in the field. Exactly. 100% correct. That's why they got the scarecrows out there. Because they scare the crows away. So imagine if you had a scarecrow out there and you had this sitting on his shoulder. But that was the purpose of the scarecrows. 100% absolutely correct. But ladies, that's what you do. If you don't like bugs, all you gotta do is put this in the front on your mailbox or somewhere on your front. You ain't gotta worry about opening your door and bugs flying in. They ain't coming nowhere over there. If you got birds pooping and stuff, just put one of these. They're not coming. They're not coming. That's for sure. They ain't coming. Ain't gonna be nothing buzzing around. Ain't nothing gonna be buzzing around when they see these dragonflies. That's just a side note to help y'all out. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, my advice to you all is don't be getting involved in the political confusion because, like, yes, it's politics and stuff going on, but mental health is real important, and it's not mentally healthy for you to get your mind. That's why the trucks stop has those fake owls. Exactly. You can get the owls too. The owls work good too. The owls work good too. The owls work good. The owls work just as good. Yeah, the owls work just as good. You can get the owls too. The owls work great. The owls will work at night too. That's the one thing. That's the one thing about the owls. The owls will work at night. Yeah, the owls will work. The owls will work at night too. The owls might even scare some criminals away. If they see a big old owl, they'll be like, they won't necessarily know if it's real or not. They might not want to come up on your porch. The owls work too. But try to get the one that got this hole in his head, right? But the owls work too. This is what people use it to keep stuff out, to keep stuff off of their property. You know what I'm saying? They see that they ain't coming. You know what I mean? They ain't coming. Ladies, get those dragonflies. I know a lot of ladies don't like bugs. A lot of ladies don't like bugs. You know what I'm saying? A lot of ladies don't like bugs, so those are really good to get, ladies. If you don't like bugs, and if you want to keep birds from pooping on your stuff, you know what I'm saying? If you want to keep birds from, but definitely it's a good investment. It's a good investment for you and your family and your children when you're out in your yard and you want to keep, you don't want your children to be getting stung by bees. And you don't want flies when you have the family party. You ain't gonna have to worry about flies and all of that. All right. All right. You have a good night too. So that's a good thing too. All right. They got a couple different types of owls you can get, right? Or you can get these owls right here, or you can get the other owls like this, and ain't no birds gonna come. And you can get the eagles. And if you don't like bugs, you can get the dragonflies. All right, ladies? All right, look, and y'all stay positive. Once again, don't let the politics and stuff really mess with your mind too much. Try to keep your head like even kill, so you don't be having anxiety over the politics and stuff. And just watch the news and keep up what's going on in case you got to make some changes in your life. You know what I'm saying? That's all. Don't panic though. But just pay attention to everything in case you got to make changes. You might have to make changes in your life. All right? All right. Victory.